everyone. Today I am here at FnordCon with Andrew Hackard.
Hi folks, FnordCon's nearly over, but we've still got some talking to do.
I know. You're going to talk about Kickstarters and Warhammer stuff today. And you guys are going to get to hear wonderful announcements going on all throughout the live show.
Yep. It's not a real convention unless you have somebody over the PA talking over you.
That's right. What sort of Kickstarters are coming up this year?
Well, let me talk about, first of all, the ones that are currently shipping.
Okay.
We have Munchkin Unicorns and Friends was a collection of several small mini expansions that we bundled together. That one funded late last year. We have shipped it to everyone. As far as I know, not everybody's quite received it yet, but I'm pretty sure all the shipments have gone out. If you backed Unicorns and Friends and you don't have your copy yet, email kickstart@sjgames.com and it will go to the people who can find out what's going on for you.
That's lovely. Well, I'm glad everybody's getting their unicorns because that was an excellent set to play.
It really was. The kilometer was adorable.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, everything I opened in that, I was like, I need to add puppies to the set and kittens to the set and just make like the ultimate cute set,
the ultimate fuzzy cute set. And then we also have Munchkin Steampunk Girl Genius, which is an expansion for steampunk using Phil Folio's webcomic that he's been doing forever.
Yeah.
And that one is on the boat. We expect to start shipping it to backers next month.
That's awesome. I got to see some of the cards for that and everything, and I'm super excited to see it in person.
We had an early peek at FnordCon. FnordCon's all about the early access.
Right, guys? You could have come here, and then you could have been at FnordCon and seen the Girl Genius, like, right there.
And an authentic Austin thunderstorm this morning.
That's true. It was pouring.
It was pouring. It's actually getting sunny now.
It's nice, yeah. And I'm from Arizona, so like it being super wet was not my thing.
No,
I was like, no thanks, this is not good.
Right now, we're running a Kickstarter for 3 new mini expansions for Star Munchkin, Munchkin Cthulhu, Munchkin Zombies. We've been showing all of these off at the convention as well.
That's lovely.
They are illustrated by Lar D'Souza. They are up to, I think, 27 cards apiece.
Yeah, I love that the goals for those did make it so you started getting more and more cards in those expansions. So they're like mega expansions
Exactly.
now.
So we're hoping to reach 30 for each one because that's kind of our top size before they get
awesome.
really big.
That would be so awesome. Oh my goodness.
So, also, we've already paid Lar for all the art, so we'd like to use it.
They're like, we want to give you the cards, just back the item.
But that is, we've been getting a lot of requests for expansions for non-fantasy sets. We're like, let's do this on Kickstarter, which is the advantage of Kickstarters. We get to try things and see what strikes a fancy with people and what doesn't.
Right, and you guys did a really good job with, like, you have... It actually will cost you less money to go on Kickstarter and get all these items because you guys were like doing great deals for different stuff on there, and then adding games in there as well, and like it was amazing.
And one of the things we do is when we set up the backer kit, which is the pledge manager after a Kickstarter, we almost always have ways that you can say, you know what, I don't actually have Star Munchkin, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to this pledge. Or I'm missing an expansion, so I can go ahead and put that in there and bundle it in with something that's already being shipped to you.
Well, and I love doing that because if you missed out on something in a set or something went out of reprint and you're like, oh, okay, well, finally I can get my hands on it now because, you're offering everything all at once with something like that.
Right. So. That Kickstarter ends later this week. So.
Oh, so soon, guys. You got to get on there.
So, if you haven't checked it out, please do. Just search for Steve Jackson Games Kickstarter. We also have Warehouse 23 Kickstarters. Last week we ran one for the Bag of Bags.
Oh, yeah, and I heard that the Warehouse 23 Kickstarters are something that are not going to be sold after that. Like, it's just on the Kickstarter and that's it.
The plan is things that will not be in regular distribution. We'll probably have them on warehouse23.com. We might have them as convention sales.
Okay.
But we're not planning to do a huge bulk shipment to distributors for retail stores.
Okay, and that's a really big thing to know because if you see something on the Warehouse 23 Kickstarter page, you know that, like, okay, this is something I'm not going to be able to get just anywhere. Right,
it's going to be harder to get later on. We'll probably have some extras to sell, but maybe not very many.
Yeah, and I like kind of how you guys separated that, so I immediately know, okay, well, this is a Warehouse 23 one. I need to get these now.
Well, and that was Phil's idea because we were getting a lot of confusion from retailers and from consumers.
Right.
About, will I be able to get this later? Anything that's on the Steve Jackson Games side, we're expecting to take to distribution.
Okay, all right. Well, that's really good to know. Well, and now you guys know.
So, and we've got more Kickstarters planned later this year that I can't talk about yet.
Yes, I'm so excited.
One I can talk about, though, are the Fantasy Trip. I forget what the name is, the card deck that Steve did.
Oh, I don't know what the name of the card deck is, but yeah.
I'm sorry, Steve. But he is doing an actual just cards that you can put in your game as inspiration for quick start characters, or, oh crap, I need a monster. Well, let me deal a card out and do that.
It makes a huge difference whenever you're going to play a game like that and you're not having to make up everything as you go. And
Sure.
it makes the game go along very quickly for you. You know, you don't have to do a ton of research and put everything together in your notes and stuff. And it makes it a quick, hey, I can throw it out on the table and play it right away.
Right. And
Yeah.
Phil hinted at some others in the presentation to FNordCon yesterday. We're going to have some really cool dice sets coming to
I
Kickstarter
know.
later this year.
I'm such a dice person, so like some of
you're
the
a
dice
gamer.
on there,
You're a
oh my
gamer.
gosh, I know,
You're a
right?
gamer.
I need all the dice, guys.
So, but if you like big dice with really cool sides, you're going to want to keep an eye on our Kickstarters this year.
Yeah, the amount of cool production dice like you guys were doing, I was just like, wow, I need some of these, I need some of those, I need some of these. Like, I'm excited to see them all.
I am too. So,
All right.
the other thing that's exciting right now is Munchkin Warhammer.
Yes. Yes.
We signed the license a little over a year ago with Games Workshop. Munchkin Warhammer 40,000, the deluxe style game, is in stores now. Mm-hmm. Hit stores last month. We got to play it a lot at FNordCon.
Yep.
Did you get to play it?
I did get to play it, yeah, and that's such a colorful set.
I'm going to put you on the spot. What did you think?
I liked it a lot. I'm not like a hardcore Warhammer player or anything like that. I know a little bit about the, I guess, general like idea of it and everything, but playing the game was so
Sure.
much fun still. So even me who like is not fully into Warhammer, I still really enjoyed playing the game.
The really cool thing was I knew Warhammer 40,000 existed when we signed the license, and I told Games Workshop that I know about the very basics about the game. It's Imperium versus Chaos. Everybody has big armies with lots of painted figures that I don't have the patience for, and they said, we'll send you the source materials. And then I got this really heavy box of Warhammer 40,000 books at the office, and it was just, like, here's your instant Warhammer library. Plus, Ben Williams, one of our production artists, is a Warhammer player, so he was a fantastic
that's
resource.
good. So you go to him and ask him questions
Right.
about the different factions and everything.
Sure. And so that's in stores now. The first expansion, Faith and Firepower, it's 112 cards, introduces 2 more armies.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be in stores in June. Second expansion is Savagery and Sorcery. Will be in stores in July. We've got a kilometer coming out. We've got a dice set coming out.
You need those. You need the
You really
kilometer
do.
for it. You need the dice set for it.
So,
Like, you need your extra cards in there.
If you guys, if people who are into Warhammer 40,000, the Munchkin set can get over 400 cards for their set
Wow.
over that. And then
That's crazy.
later this year, Munchkin Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
That's right.
So Warhammer 40,000 is kind of the science fiction version. Age of Sigmar is very heavy fantasy. And we just wrapped in the playtest, so we were showing it off at this convention.
Yeah. So
Cards,
if you came, I mean, you could have played.
I'm just saying, FNordCon, we played that, I think, 3 or 4 times. Cards with no art on them yet, just text.
Yeah.
That's how early a prototype this was.
So you get to test all the rules and kind of see how things play and give,
Exactly.
like, oh, okay, I thought this worked. This didn't seem like it worked as much, and it's cool to be able to do that if you've never done it before.
And I just got out of a game that, in true Munchkin fashion, came down to whoever could survive long enough to win the game. Lots of us at levels 8 and 9 just trying really hard to win, and unfortunately it was not me. It's kind of the theme of the weekend is I did not win a single Munchkin game.
Those are the best games, though. They really are.
It really was.
It's down to the line.
We really had a good time, and that one is in production. We have almost all the art in from John, so it's with our team being colored, placed onto cards. The rules are nearly done. The box is already done, so we should be able to send that to print within the next month.
Wow.
And we're hoping to have that in stores in November.
Oh my goodness. Right around the corner, guys.
It
like
is
that's
just
close for Christmas
so-
and stuff.
Those of you who have Hanukkah Christmas lists,
Right? All your
Here's something-
holidays.
here's something you can put on it. And then we announced at FNordCon in 2020 there will be Age of Sigmar expansions, accessories, probably more dice, probably a kilometer. Who knows what else? I can say I have finished writing the first expansion. We've not playtested it yet. And I'm about halfway done with the second one.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You work so fast. Oh my
We have
gosh.
to these days. So lots of Munchkin Warhammer coming out. John Kavalik is a Warhammer fanboy, an absolute nut. So he's been having a great time.
You can tell in his art that he drew for that, all the little orcs and stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah.
aw, he did an amazing job with that.
And it was kind of, it was one of those, he's like, this is I'm doing this so quickly, and it's so much fun, and it hurts, but it hurts good. And so,
You
John,
gave him like drawing cramps in his hand.
sure, John, if you're watching, thank you. You've been doing a great job with this, and it has been Games Workshop's been fantastic to work with on that.
That's fantastic.
They let me break the fourth wall in ways I didn't think they were going to let me get away with.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sometimes on a license, you write a card for yourself.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'll send it in and see if they're not going to let that through. They let almost all of those through.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, Warhammer 40,000 players, there are some in-jokes for you guys.
Oh.
So I hope you have a good time with it.
Well, fantastic.
So.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. And I wish I could talk about more news, but
well, there's only so much you can say, and I understand
really
that.
is,
I really
yeah.
understand that. My last question is just like, what was your favorite thing that you did at FNORDCon?
Favorite thing was getting to play these games with fans. I mean, we had a lot of local fans, obviously, so people I had already known, seen from playtests. Some of them are in my game group.
Right.
But we had a lot of people. I think the farthest was from New York.
Oh, wow.
And folks coming in and having a great time and playing games and getting to see our unpublished games. The Car Wars stuff. I saw you talking to Randy earlier.
The Car Wars stuff was
those
so
tables
good.
were full all weekend.
The entire weekend. Like, there was not a free seat at those tables.
And Fantasy Trip was busy the whole time.
Oh, absolutely.
Dungeon Fantasy with Doug Cole here. I don't know if you got to talk to Doug at all, but he got to run a bunch of events, plus one of our local men in black, Kyle Norton. And those Dungeon Fantasy tables were full the whole weekend as well.
Well, didn't they do like a 13-person Dungeon Fantasy?
They did at one point.
Yeah, and then a 9-person Ogre game, I think, right?
I think it was 8 or 9 people.
Yeah.
All Steve versus everyone. I think
it was crazy. Oh
and
my gosh.
Steve only lost 2 of those games, which I think is actually above his average.
Is it?
So, yeah.
That's fantastic. And a bunch of the really cool stuff that you can check out at FNORDCon, hopefully next year. Hopefully.
I would vote yes.
Right?
I
mean, it was such a success this year. Like
we all had a great time.
Yeah, everything went really well, and it was a smaller convention, but those are almost sometimes better in the fact that like you get to sit down and like people can actually sit down and play with you and
Absolutely,
talk to you and
yeah.
like come up to you and be like, hey, I really like this, or just
and we had, even when I wasn't in a game, I could circulate, I could talk with people.
Right. So that's almost nicer going to those sort of conventions, right off the bat, and you get a little bit more one-on-one time with people.
Sure.
And stuff,
I mean, at a Gen Con, we have a decent sized booth, but it's packed all the time, and
it's hard to get an ear from anybody. It's just like, hurry up, come in, play our games, and then, oh my gosh, get out, we have to have other people play our games because it's so busy.
Sure. So next year I will guarantee sunny weather the whole week. I can't.
No.
But
that would be nice, though.
it would be nice if I could, but it is, I don't know if we'll be in the same location or not, but this was very convenient to a bunch of hotels.
Yes.
Also very convenient to the office, which helps us.
Yes.
And, maybe we'll go to a hotel nearby that has some more convention space. We'll see.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining me.
GloryHoundd, thanks so much for having me.
All right. And we will see all of you guys later this week, okay? We'll talk to you later.
So, FNORDCon wrap-ups later this week.
That's right.